Hi guys, Nicole Kernahan here. I'm going to talk to you about the conscious and subconscious mind, and I'm going to share a little graphic image, which you may or may not have seen before, and I'm going to talk about when your subconscious mind is open, because that's the most important thing, is how to open the subconscious mind. How can we get in there? So I'm going to share my screen actually. It's just be a couple of minutes, but this video. So this little stick person, a chiropractic doctor in 1934, Dr. Thurman Fleet, created this visual depiction of the mind. It looks funny because it's a stick person, but it is honestly one of the most important concepts that I've ever learned. And it has literally changed how I see the world and how I see myself, and made a humongous impact in my results. So this little visual depiction is a representation of the mind, to connection to the body, in connection to our actions, in connection to our results. So that top circle represents the mind, the bottom circle represents the body. Now that the mind, we're split into two parts. The top half is the conscious mind, the bottom is the subconscious mind. The conscious mind is where we use our five senses, right? Where we see, hear, smell, taste, and touch. We can come up with ideas, we can think about new things, we use our logic we can look around and see in our reality what's happening in our bank account, what's my background in my career, in my business, in my relationship, my health. We can use our mind, our conscious mind, to look at the things around us, and then either dream up things that are possible regardless of all that, or we can use all that reality to limit us as well, which is another story for another day. But for now, let's just say our conscious mind is where we use our five senses to bring into our life. The subconscious mind, that's the part of the mind. Actually, I'm sorry, I have some little descriptions here. So your subconscious mind can choose. It can come up with, it can choose yes or no and decide on something, accepting or rejecting. It can originate new ideas, like I mentioned. Your subconscious mind cannot reject, it must accept, and it cannot differentiate between what is real or imagined. So this is so exciting, and it's very incredible tool that we need to use. Actually, it's not optional. If you want to get major results in life, we need to use this tool. And people who are successful are using it whether they know it or not. They're using the subconscious mind. But your subconscious mind, like it says, it cannot reject, it must accept. So if you tell yourself something over and over, I'm not good enough, I can't do this, this wouldn't make sense, I shouldn't, it's not possible, I don't, whatever. Whatever you're continuously telling yourself is what your subconscious mind believes. Whatever you're repeatedly telling yourself with belief and emotion is what you accept into your subconscious mind. If you're repeatedly telling yourself something else, like, I can, even though I don't know how yet, it's possible, I'm able, if you're continuously telling yourself something else with belief and emotion, then you will accept that. Your subconscious mind will accept whatever message you repeatedly give to it with belief and emotion. That whole part is really important as well, the belief and emotion aspect. But for now, I want to talk to you about a couple little neat tricks that you can use to get into your subconscious mind when is it wide open. Okay, so here's this picture. How can I open my conscious mind and put things directly into my subconscious mind? It's only 2 times when you can do this. And I would suggest that we don't rely only on these 2 things, because if you want to make an impact, we want to use the other tools, or repetition and emotion, and other things. But for now, these 2 things are really handy little tricks. The first one, unfortunately, you can't really control because it happened to you. But I'm going to give you this statistic. It's kind of negative, actually, but it is negative. But it says, this quote from John Ashraf and Murray Smith says, by the time you're 17 years old, you've heard the words, no, you can't, an average of 150,000 times. And you've heard the words, yes, you can, an average of about 5,000 times. That's 30 no's for every one yes. That makes for a powerful belief of I can't. So you guessed it, the first time that your subconscious mind is wide open is when you're a child. When you're a child, you just believe whatever you've been told. If someone's telling you you're good, you can do it, it's possible, you can. If someone's telling you you can't, no, don't do that, no, you're bad, you're a bad kid person, you're a bad kid, you're not good enough, whatever you're repeatedly told as a child goes directly into your subconscious mind. And, you know, kids believe in Santa Claus and the Tooth Fairy. They don't have any ability to reject. If you have young children, it's kind of neat actually to see how much they believe. Obviously, use it in a positive way, but it's really interesting that they just believe it. Now, if you have been negatively programmed as a child, it's okay. We can work to change it through constant spaced repetition of other things, with emotion and belief. But here's a second trick that you can do. The other time that your subconscious mind is wide open, other than when you're a child, is right before you fall asleep and right when you wake up. So I guess technically that's 3 times, because right when you're a child and then right before you fall asleep and right when you wake up. But those are both connected to the same pattern, because it's the way that your brain is operating when you're falling into sleep and right when you're waking up. You can't really control the time when you're waking up because you're waking up. You can't consciously use that time. But right before you fall asleep, you can consciously use that time. It's really important that it's right before you fall asleep. So please don't use that time right before you're falling asleep to worry about all the things that are wrong, to be complaining, to be fearful, to be reading the news, listening to the news. The news is negative. It's showing all the worst case things. So right before you fall asleep, it's so critically important to use that time for positive. So gratitude is an incredible thing to do. Think about things that you're deeply grateful for and be emotional and picture them and see that person's face or that experience or things that are currently happening or have happened in the past, but really practicing gratitude right before you go to sleep. Another thing is to think about your goal. Think about if you have a goal that you've gotten clear and you've written down, and picture yourself having achieved it. What does it feel like? What does that feel like? What does it look like? What am I doing? Get into that emotional state right before you fall asleep. Prayer is often something that people do also before sleep, which if we're praying in gratitude, then that's good. That can be used as well in a positive place in gratitude. But yeah, those are probably the big things. Positive affirmations as well. You're saying, I am so happy and grateful in terms of an affirmation, now that I have achieved something, or in terms of now, or even in terms of I am a certain way, like I am amazing, I am positive, I am upbeat, I am confident. If there are certain affirmations that you're using, those can be said at this time. The most important part is that you have to be emotional. A positive emotion, obviously. It depends on how you feel. So if you start to say your goal, but you don't feel emotionally attached to it, then maybe go to gratitude. If you're saying gratitude and you feel amazing, but you want to take it up a notch, maybe say some affirmations or say your goal statement in the present tense so that you feel like what you feel like when you get there. Okay, hopefully this isn't too much, a little mouthful, and you're grasping the power of this. But for now, your action is to take gratitude, a goal, present tense goal statement, and or some affirmations, and say them out loud. Maybe write them down, close your eyes, think about them right before you fall asleep. So that's the last thought you think of, and guess what? It gets to brew all night long while you're sleeping. And if you do that every night over and over and over, you will be amazed at how different you feel when you wake up, and how different you feel when you fall asleep, and how different your day looks, and how different your actions are that you take, and how different your results become. Okay, so hopefully this added value, and if you enjoyed it, definitely would love to hear your comments. Feel free to comment below, like, share, subscribe, and we'd love to share more with you in the future. Thanks so much.